Good evening and welcome to Bod's Crabcakes and Sports. Happy Thursday and kickoff to week 7 of the NFL. Mike and Jason here with you tonight. John is working late. I believe he sold an automobile and had to make a delivery, Mike.
Yeah, it's hard to fit an automobile in your car, I think. So I don't know what
Mhm.
he's taking with him.
Well, so how does this work? He like drives the car, drops it off, and what? Takes a cab home? Like, does he walk? Like, I'm very curious to how the situation works.
And maybe his dealership pays for an Uber. I have no clue. What does that look like? We'll have to ask John
John,
the next time we see him.
yes, John, we heard your dealer pays for your Ubers. Yes, we'd like you to expound on that just a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious. For those of you out there that don't know, I mean, I'm sure you do because he says it every episode. But John is in car sales, so he's actually pretty good at it apparently. So he sold another car. He's going to deliver it to someone, but we don't know how he's getting home. So if anyone out there that's listening to us or watching us on Facebook, tell me how John's getting home because I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, I really, on the big scheme of life, I'm sure he'll figure it out. He's a big boy. But Mike, I don't know. I just like
Yeah,
to
I mean, if
know.
if anybody sees John with his thumb up on the side of the road and just has whatever mercy they have in their heart and just wants to grab John, we'd love to have him back on the show at some point. So if you could just give John a quick ride back to wherever he lives, and he lives by you, right? Somewhere in Florida.
Lakeland, Florida, which is more central Florida. I'm more on the coast. But
Okay.
apparently he gets over this side of town all the time in like a very short period of time. I don't know how he does it. It's really weird. But he has no problem driving. I didn't realize how big Florida is until I moved here. It takes me like from when we moved down here from Naples or to Naples originally from Baltimore, like we all of a sudden get towards Jacksonville and you see the sign, "Welcome to Florida." And we still had another 6.5 hours to go. Like we're there.
Just a
It's
tip.
terrible.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
yeah.
pretty terrible.
Well, that's because you came from Maryland too, right? And you can get from the mountains to the ocean in like what, 3.5 hours?
3.5 hours, 4 hours. But like
Yeah.
Cumberland to Ocean City or something.
We're America in miniature. That's our nickname because you get the mountains, you get the ocean, you get Baltimore City, and everything in between.
I feel like here in Florida, we're like Australia. Australia's many. Like everything here is trying to kill you. You got alligators and crocodiles. They live together in perfect harmony down towards the Keys. You have like scorpions, I think.
Did you have
There's black
panthers?
widows. We have panthers. We
Yeah.
have rattlesnakes, black bears. Like I don't think the black bears bother you really much unless you mess with their children. But yeah, so I mean, all's well though. Haven't got eaten yet, so yeah, we got that going for us.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of all is well, but the opposite, things are not well.
Yep.
The we're in the bye week for the Ravens there down at the castle or up at the castle in my uh, area. So, what are you hearing there, Mike? Like, I'm not. I've been listening to a couple podcasts here and there. I guess all the coordinators are still intact. I haven't seen a bunch of people brought in or any moves really made. Maybe that'll happen the second week, which doesn't make sense. But anything you're hearing on your end?
No, no. There's just been, I think they're practicing, which is interesting. And John Harbaugh attributed that to the fact that the bye week was earlier this year versus being later on. He said it was no real, it wasn't really about, I guess, the wins and losses at this point, just about the fact that they need to continue to practice. But I think it has a lot to do with the wins and losses. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that not only do they have a lot to work on, but they have some pieces that they've brought in to kind of fill in holes like Okoye and some of those guys in the practice squad who need as many reps as they possibly can get, in the system and to really feel comfortable going out there to perform on Sunday. And obviously the biggest thing we talked about last time we were on the podcast is just the health factor. So I think getting everybody healthy is the biggest thing here. So we'll see. Not much to report in Baltimore here, Jason. It's been pretty quiet.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I think the buy came at a really good time for them. Not that they have much of a choice. Like I said the other day, though, the Bears came out of the buy and won. It last second field goal, I guess, over the Commanders. But so out of the bye they play Chicago, and I mean that worries me a little bit because I do think that the bye week that they had to get Caleb Williams, the rest of these guys up and running again, I think they're only going to get better. I do think Chicago is a playoff team over the next couple of years, maybe not this year, but so as far as I mean, I didn't think that the Ravens would make a bunch of wholesale changes and do some crazy things, but you need something. Like they need to somehow figure out. Like I had heard Ken McCusick today on Locked On Ravens, and he was talking about maybe moving Urban to the edge to be able to set the edge better, and then have some of these other guys push from the middle still. I mean, it's funny because we're talking defense. I mean, after this break, after this bye, I think everybody's back, right? I mean, I don't know if anyone's.
I'm hearing Lamar, Roquan, Awuzie is supposed to be back. I think they're getting the majority. Ricard, I think they're getting the majority of the big pieces back. So if there's any time to go on a little bit of a run, their schedule lightens up. They get some of these guys back, but they weren't playing particularly well prior to losing all these guys either. So we got to keep that in mind too. So unless there was a schematic change or a shift in attitude, a shift in something, there's got to be more to it than just getting these guys back.
Yeah, and I think too that the offensive line in general is going to have to. There has to be some sort of tweaking there, but also, like I said a couple shows ago, Lamar and his ability to take 3 steps and pass instead of taking so many steps back, stepping into oncoming traffic because he's going back too far in the pocket. That's one of the big things that I saw. So he's got to help the offensive line out a little bit, but also the offensive line itself needs to really step up and prove that they're actually here for real. But I guess we'll see. I mean, we have all like I said, I think it couldn't have came at a better time. I
Well,
have
I
a I
think
have a
the other thing.
prediction I'll save for their game
Oh,
out a
oh
little later
yeah,
though.
I can't wait to hear that. So my only thought, real quick, to piggyback on what you said with the offensive line, I think they know their offensive line isn't great right now. So the one thing that you could see is quick, like you said, getting the ball out quicker, or maybe moving Lamar off his spot a little bit. I think they came into the season thinking it would be same as last year with the offensive line, where they have more time, and now knowing that may or may not be the case, you can do some things with Lamar that are a little more creative. So I hope that Todd Monken maybe kind of gets a little creative in moving him off his spot or getting rid of the ball more quickly and getting the ball maybe into these guys' hands that are playmakers, because we definitely have a bunch of playmakers on offense. It's just the beef that's not getting the job done for the most part at this moment.
Yeah, I mean you have to be able to move these guys off and give your quarterback some time to throw. I mean I wish I could tell you that there was like a bright spot on the offensive line. The listening to Ken McCusick in his film studies, he actually has Falele um, graded out as being the most surprising and most productive offensive lineman, mainly because he's the best pass rushing offensive lineman right now. Pass protecting offensive lineman. Run blocking is not good, but they knew his run blocking wasn't good. And then Voorhees was a disaster. Rosengarten took a step back from last year. So I do wonder if if they had if there's talk about maybe bumping him out to right tackle. If I don't know, who knows? It's not good, I can tell you that. But I'm still optimistic that once we get to see everybody play on the same page together, maybe they'll be able to rattle off a few wins.
I watched this movie once.
Oh boy.
It was called Little Giants, and they ran this play called The Annexation of Puerto Rico. It seemed
Mhm.
really effective. So I don't know if maybe Todd wants to chime in and maybe take a look at that movie, get some ideas from outside the box.
Yes, I'm sure we'll get on the phone with Rick Moranis. It's the guy from Honey I Shrunk the
Yeah,
Kids,
Shrunk the
same guy.
Kids. Yes,
Good
with
times.
Icebox.
Icebox. Oh my. All right. So right now we are going to do our predictions for week 7. We haven't done this since week 1, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our predictions for week 7. And Mike, the first game is Thursday night. The Steelers travel to the Bengals in the jungle. to face that lion of our former lion, Joe Flacco. How do you think that one's going to turn up?
Have you heard they're dubbing it the Icy Hot Bowl?
Yes, I heard that.
I
Old as
think that
hell, icy hot bowl. Yes.
as as a similar aged person, I find that really, really amusing because I wake up, I feel like every other day, and there's shooting pain in the back of my neck, and it goes like to the base of my skull. And Julia's like, "That's just getting old." And I'm like, "Are you sure I don't have a tumor?" She's like, "You're just getting old." Okay, so
The tumor.
yeah,
It's not a
uh,
tumor.
right. So you know what? I like the Steelers to win, but I like the Bengals to cover. That's kind of how
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, it's funny. I looked at it and I did blink, and I was like, I think it'll be closer than everybody probably thinks. But the next one is another London game. I think the last London game of the year, the Jaguars and the Rams. I'm gonna go ahead. I think the Rams looked un. What word am I looking for? They didn't look great against the Ravens. I feel like they
Uninspired.
uninspired is the best word. And I think with Puka down, I'm gonna actually go with the Jaguars to win that game.
Wow. You like the Jags D
Yeah,
there, probably, right? That's a
I
lot.
do.
It's a
And
lot
you know
tougher
what? I mean,
matchup than the Ravens D.
but they can also score the football a little bit. So it's not with the Rams, it's not like a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams. I'll just take the experience of Matt Stafford, and Stafford sounds British to me, so I feel like
Hmm.
that's something that somehow makes sense. Like old Stratford, Matt Stafford. There's somewhere in the mix. We're going Rams.
Okay. And next one, Kevin O'Connell coming off the bye with the Vikings as they have the Eagles visit them. What are you thinking on that one?
I think the Eagles bounce back. Fly, Eagles, fly. They fly into the indoor stadium and get the victory.
Oh man, I really want to pick the Vikings. I really do, but they're not. No, I think I'm going to go with the Eagles. Sorry, all the Philadelphia fans are going to come at me with a bunch of hate. Next, the Raiders visit the Chiefs. I'm going to go ahead with the Chiefs here. They have Rashi Rice coming back this week. I'm not sure if he'll have a huge game, his first game back, but he gives them a whole new dimension that they've been missing all year long. And they're starting to kind of hit their stride as Patrick Mahomes is the top quarterback here, at least fantasy goes. What do you think,
Yeah,
Mike?
I saw a meme. I don't remember if it was on social media somewhere, like about the Chiefs fans being so excited about Rashi Rice coming back, like he wasn't a convicted felon or something like that. It was
Right.
hilarious. But he does add a dimension to that team. And Xavier Worthy, you saw the dimension he added when he came back in the Baltimore game. More weapons for Patrick Mahomes. Their number is 12.5. I think it's high. I think the Raiders could cover that. The Chiefs haven't been a juggernaut. They played really well the last couple of weeks. I think they're due for a down game, but I think they still win at home in Arrowhead versus the Raiders. That puts them at 4-3 on the year.
I mean, Vegas is terrible. And Gino is not playing well. So and the Chiefs defense is actually pretty decent. So I don't think personally it'll be that close, but I get it. Next is the Saints visiting Soldier Field to take on the Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
I don't have a whole lot to say on that one other than what I've already said about the Bears. I do think that they will go on a little bit of a run. Hopefully that'll end after or starting next week. But I do have the Bears beating the Saints. And then the Browns and the Dolphins. And the Browns are favored in this game, I believe.
Two and a half.
Yeah, it's in Cleveland. I don't know if they're going to cover, but I will have the Browns and their defense beating the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jason. I think the Browns defense shows up, and I think this might be Mike McDaniel's last game as head coach because if you lose to the Browns, I think that pretty much signals it's all over for you.
Yeah, look, I had Mike McDaniel being the first coach fired this year, and then that clown in Tennessee, Callahan, he ended up getting fired. You know, that guy I feel like just listening to his press conference, he hates life. Like he doesn't want to live life. Like he's just, but he's probably happy now that
And
he's out of
Nashville's such a wonderful
Tennessee.
city. Have you been to Nashville?
I have not yet. It's on the list.
Dude,
It
you
is
can't
on
you
the
can't live
list.
in Nashville and be that angry. Like it's just not possible.
Understand. All right, next one. The Panthers visit the Jets. I'm going to go with the Panthers. I have been impressed thus far. Um, I I don't know what type of. I think it'll be a close game, but I do have the Panthers beating the Jets and still keeping them winless.
0-6 for the Jets right now. It's hard to believe they're that bad. You know what? This is probably going to be a close game, is my guess, but I'm going to go with Carolina. They found a way to win 3 games already this season. That shows me they have much more fight probably than the Jets do.
Got it. Okay, Mike. The next one, the Patriots, the Red Hot Patriots, and Drake May travel to Tennessee. Is this a trap game for the Patriots?
Mm. 7.5 points. That's for the Patriots to cover. You wouldn't have probably predicted that going into the year, but remember, this is Mike Vrabel's homecoming in Tennessee as well. So I think you're going to see the Patriots win this game going away probably.
See, I do think the Patriots are going to win, but you do always have that the coach just got fired bump. So that's kind of in the back of my head. I'm like, I mean, Tennessee's just not like Cam Ward's not quite there. They're no, they're in shambles. I'm going with the Pats as well. Let's see. Okay, the Giants travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. I think the Giants have been playing good. They just came off that win against the Eagles with Jackson Dart and Scatterbo. Those guys are playing well, but I think Denver's defense is going to be a lot to confuse a rookie. So I am going to take the Broncos in this game.
Yeah, I like Denver too. I think Sean Payton's a real good football coach, and I think Bo Nix hasn't played particularly well to start the season. But I think if you get our boy J.K. Dobbins rolling a little bit, and you get a little play action going, I think that's where Bo Nix thrives. And I think against a not a great Giants defense, they're going to be able to get the offense rolling, and then that defense will be able to stay off the field and be fresh and shut that Giants team down. So I'm going with the Broncos.
All right, and then the Colts travel to the Colts 4-2 Chargers. I've seen that one play out, Mike.
Is that the best game this week? I think maybe I don't know. It's a pretty good game.
I think Dallas and Washington, even though like the records aren't, I mean, they're 2-3-1 and 3-3. I think it's going to
Yeah,
be a pretty good game. But yeah,
Bucks
otherwise, I would say
Lions.
this would.
Yeah,
Oh,
Bucks Lions is pretty good. So I'm going to say I think the Chargers get the win. I think it's a big game for them. Swinging in this, as far as like a swing in the standings, they're 4-2. The Colts are 5-1. The Colts have played well, but they haven't really played too many tough opponents, in their schedule early on. So I'm really curious to see what this matchup looks like. I do think it's going to be close. I mean, Vegas has us at 1.5 points, so they think so as well. But I think I give the home field advantage here to the LA Chargers.
oh. I'm going to go with the Colts on the road. I mean, they already beat the Broncos on the road earlier this year, I believe. Or was that in Indy? I think it was on the road. Um, and yeah, that was the game that ruined my 10 game team parlay and my happiness
Yes,
for the
that's
year.
right. Crushed your hopes
But
and
no,
dreams.
all right. Now I'm going to go with the Colts. Also, because we've only disagreed on one pick so far, so that'll be two now.
Nice.
But we might actually disagree on this one coming up. The Commanders, I almost said Redskins, darn it. The Commanders travel to Dallas. The 3-3 Commanders and the 2-3-1 Cowboys. How do you think? How do you see this one playing?
I mean, this is tough. Commanders coming off a loss to the Bears, a game they probably should have won. And then you have Dallas, who's been putting up points, but also giving up points. So, I mean, I think Jaden Daniels has his way with that defense. So I think Commanders will be able to score. Cowboys at home are tough, but I'll take the Commanders just because I think they're the better team in general. But I could see why you might pick the Cowboys at home.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Commanders. I really do. I think CD Lamb coming back. No, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm also gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. Almost changed my mind. It'll probably bite me in the butt. All right.
Jerry Jones appreciates you.
I'm sure he does. All right. Green Bay visits Arizona. This one, the Green Bay is 3-1-1, and Arizona's 2-4. I think the Packers are too much for Arizona. I'm not sure if Kyler's actually playing or not. I think he's still up in the air, but I think he's expected to play. But no, I'm going to go with. But Jacoby Brissett had a pretty good showing last week as well. I'm going to have the Packers winning this game close early, and then they pull away late.
How about Jacoby Brissett? Like I forgot he was even existed. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
Right.
and you said Kyler's up in the air. He's a short fella, so he better get way
Yeah,
up there. You know what I'm saying?
that's true.
Give me the Packers. I just think Josh Jacobs has been a little sick this week, but I think he'll be healthy hopefully by this weekend. He's a lot to handle on the ground. Jordan Love's a good decision maker with the ball, and you got a pretty good defense there. So I want to go Green Bay just as a better all around team.
I agree. I agree. And then the Falcons visit the 49ers. The Falcons had a pretty good win against the Bills. Their defense actually really proving pretty formidable. And then the 49ers, 4-2. I guess Purdy's supposed to come back this week. Kittle is expected back. And then obviously they have McCaffrey. I'm not sure about, I'm assuming Jennings again, but Pearsall, I think, still up in the air. Oh, you know, I don't know.
You
I'm going
were
to go,
you were big on the Falcons last week. You did a good job. You didn't say necessarily they were going to win, but you thought they'd give the Bills a game.
right. I did. I'm going to go with the 49ers. I think them, after dropping last week, I think they get back on track this week.
Well, if they're getting some guys back too, it could give you a little bump and they're at home. That's the biggest factor for me. Atlanta traveling all the way out west to San Francisco is tough to do and a tough place to play. Um, you know, what are they going to do defensively with McCaffrey out of the backfield? That's tough. And then, like you said, if they get Kittle back, there's your possession guy. And I could see an argument for those guys being rusty and Falcons bringing all that momentum from that Bills win in there, and it could be a close game, but I think you got to take the Niners at home as well. As much as I kind of want to lean and maybe pick against that, let's go Niners. I think that's the gut.
And then we have the two Monday night nonsense crap. The Buccaneers and Lions, which this is definitely this is big implications for perhaps the number one seed in the NFC. I think the Lions, coming off the loss, are going to be very motivated. Plus, their head coach is super crazy, and I think they'll have those guys ready to play. I think Baker just being down all the weapons. Evans is still iffy on whether he's going to play. Like Buka's out. Um, Irving, although White has been playing really well at the running back position. I'm going to go with the Lions, though, winning this game at home.
Yeah, the Lions are at home and the Bucks are banged up. I think two really good football teams though that should be there at the end of the year. But yeah, and like you said, the Lions coming off a loss. Give me the Lions. They're favored by 4.5. I think it'll still be a close game. I think the Bucks will do enough to hang around for a while.
And then the last game, the Texans go on the road against the Seahawks. Texans are 2-3, and the Seahawks are 4-2. The Texans have had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. I still have the Seahawks winning this game, though. I think they are a very good football team. I think they can control the game with the run, and Sam Darnold is playing out of his mind. But he played like this last year too, by the way, and then Minnesota got rid of him. So I think the Seahawks win this game, a close game, which is most of these games on the schedule. I think this week are going to be close, but I had the Seahawks winning.
Yeah, I would say I like Seattle's defense really is what gets me kind of going. They had 7 sacks last week, and you have a Mike McDonald defense. It took him a little while here in Baltimore to get going too, and I think he's finally figuring out how to use that defense. And you have a Texans team that the offensive line has been suspect for a while there, unless you're playing Baltimore. That Texans O line has been suspect for sacks for CJ Stroud back there, not having enough time. So I could easily see it going that way. The 12th man getting fired up and that defense dominating on Sunday. So that's my guess. I think the Seahawks win it.
Fantastic. All right. Well, we will see how this goes. We only have a few games that we disagree. So we'll do a little punishment situation. If we tie, then we both get to punish John.
Oh, I like that.
That'll be something, yes.
Let's tie.
Oh,
Here we go.
Did you see my new book?
Oh, I love that. Where
For
did you
those of
get
you that
that from?
Jess got it for me. So, for those of you who can't see, my wife got me a book. Just this was made for Frisky and his father specifically. Um,
Yes.
it is Dad Jokes 2. See what we did there. All right. Let's
Yes.
just let's
Hey,
just
are
open
you going to
this.
try a couple of those out? I love this.
Oh, I don't know.
This might be a new segment.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Cheetahs.
You're going to have to repeat that because it didn't sound what I thought it said.
Cheetahs.
Oh, cheetahs who?
Cheetahs never win and winners never cheat.
Oh, man. Oh, that's tough.
What did the what did the static say to the other static? So bad.
I,
I'm sick
I
and
don't.
tired of your I'm sick and tired of your interference. Oh my
That's like
god.
the two antennas that got married up on the rooftop.
Oh no.
The wedding ceremony wasn't very good, but the reception was excellent.
That was so terrible. These poor people. They just everyone turned off the podcast.
Yes, who needs a book when you got them right up here?
Oh my gosh. All right, I can't
Actually,
do
I
this
need the
anymore.
book. I need the book.
Yeah, I need the look.
Where do we find that book, Jason? Where's the I need you to send me the link in the chat or
Yeah, I don't even
maybe
know
send
where
our
it came
listeners the
from.
link.
I
Yeah.
feel like my wife went into like Home Goods or something. It was sitting there or something. It sounds like
I'm
it.
sure Amazon has it, right? They have everything.
Yeah, yep. All right. So the next segment is a new segment. Mike just created this about 10 minutes ago, and it is called The Rundown. So, Mike, go ahead. Tell me what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared because that was something you were really, really good at, if you remember in baseball, the rundown.
Mm.
Also, one of my favorite little kid games, right? You get two bases, you
Oh,
go back
yeah.
and forth. Oh my gosh. One of my more exciting memories as a child was playing rundown, even though I was a little chubby kid, didn't get there very fast. But anyway, the rundown, I'm just going to go through a series of questions about current topics, and you're going to give me your gut answer, basically. And I haven't prepped Jason at all. Haven't told him what I'm going to ask him. And he's just going to off the cuff tell me kind of what he thinks of each. And I might have a little to add, maybe not. We'll see what happens. All right. So let's go with the
Let's do
rundown. Which team has a better chance? And I haven't been watching the Dodgers Brewers game, but which team has a better chance of coming back in their series, Milwaukee or Toronto?
I would say Milwaukee. It's just that. Ooh, you know what? Good question, Mike. I'm going to say the Blue Jays. I'm going to flip that because I think that the Blue Jays offense is what's going to really, even though the Seattle's pitching is really good, I mean, they proved when they put up runs, they put up runs, and they've done it several times in the postseason. I just think the Dodgers experience is what's going to carry them through.
So you think it's more the Dodgers' strength than it is the fact that the Brewers can't come back?
Yeah, I mean, I think they might come back and make it more of a series. They might win a game, maybe two, but I don't think they win the series or it goes to seven.
Okay. All right. Let's say that the Ravens continue down this current path that they're on in futility a little bit. I don't know how many wins they end up with, but let's just say they have a losing record of 8-9 or worse. Is John Harbaugh fired at the end of the season?
No, I do not think John Harbaugh. Wait, do I think he should be or do I think he will be?
Do you think he will be fired at the end of this year with an 8-9 record or worse?
I do not. I think that the injuries are what's going to give him another, despite how all these crazy Baltimoreans are feeling. I do think he saves his job. Now, if he wins one or two or three games the rest of the way through, and Lamar plays when this happens, and they're picking in like the top five of the draft, I think that might be a different question. But 8 and 9, no, he saves his job.
Okay. The the Orioles have been interviewing some managers, and we're going to talk a little bit about this in a few minutes, but they seem to like these Dominican fellas.
Mhm.
And it could be maybe because of the ties they have with their new facility down in the Dominican Republic. Do you think the Orioles will hire a manager with Dominican ties like Luis Rojas or Albert Pujols?
And it's not because they're not deserving of the job. I think that they already know who they want. I think they're going through and they're interviewing people just to be thorough, but I have a feeling that they have someone targeted. Unfortunately, it might be somebody that's still playing right now, which is also going to cause a lot of problems because there's lots of teams that need managers now. Like Mike Schilt with the Padres. He just retired out of nowhere for them. So now that might be where Flaherty goes. Like I know I'm jumping ahead here, but so no, I don't think so. I kind of text you guys both this, you and John. The Connor uh, Newcomb, he said the same thing. It's whenever the Orioles let somebody kind of leak out, they're not interested in them. They're a very secretive organization. So no, the fact that these guys were already mentioned and Pulis was all over ESPN. No, I will say no.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. And it's funny though. I think there's a lot of inner workings that we don't hear about. Like you said, it's just a matter of it's just so tight of a network, I think, in Major League Baseball. Like all those GMs know each other. They've been in different organizations with different like I could see probably behind the scenes some of these coaches are already have an idea of where they're going to be or where they're going to interview, and the public probably doesn't have any idea. Like you said with Ryan Flaherty, I'm sure he knows two of his options right now, and we don't really know anything about what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm not saying there's collusion or any of that kind of stuff going on, but I'm sure there are conversations in text messages that we know nothing about. All right.
Agreed.
James Franklin just got canned at Penn State. Yeah. And, he's had a pretty good run there. I don't know his exact record, but he's obviously won way more games there than he's lost. He's recruited really well. James Franklin should be targeted for the Maryland head football coach after this season, regardless of how the fella there down in College Park is doing right now.
100%. The issue with this, though, is that James Franklin was on Ralph Friedgen's staff, I believe, and they gave him like $1 million contract to be the coach in waiting. But that was at the time. I think they have a new president of the university now, new athletic directors. That was the old group. I'm not sure that they want to spend the money to bring in what it's going to cost, or B, um, want to. I mean, they have a good thing going. They don't have to pay the coaches overachieving. They don't have to pay that much money. So that's the Maryland way right now. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this new athletic director is going to surprise us. But what was your question? Should he be or will he be? Will he
Should
be?
he be? Should he be targeted?
Absolutely. Tomorrow, like they'd be like, sorry, we're gonna do it, and yeah, they should pull out the red carpet for him immediately. He will have a job regardless, so it doesn't matter if it's with the Terps or not.
Yeah,
He
I
might be the
agree.
new
And
Notre Dame head coach if they
I,
keep
I
going down that
I
direction.
just think about too, just the current landscape of college football. It's how many players will he bring from that current Penn State squad wherever he goes, and the Terps have lost so many players to Penn State in this, in the DMV area, and to have him there with the promise of Malik Washington as a freshman quarterback, I mean, it's got to be a draw to a lot of transfer portal players, and also obviously to a coach who might be interested in that job. Obviously, the job is not available right now. Mike Loxley's done a pretty good job, but I'm just curious what that might look like. Like you said, Jason, especially having previous ties to the Maryland football program. All right.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, hold on. I mean, what you said, he was the top recruiter for that Terps staff under Friedgen, and it was in that area, the DMV area, that was his top spot. And he, like you said, he took all of those kids to Penn State with him, and he's done it since he left. And he was at Penn State for a long time. It sucks because they were one of the favorites to win the national championship once the tournament started last year, and he gets canned this year. So I guess the clouds is a little bare for him, but I'd love to see him come in here as a Terp.
Yeah, his players are speaking lots. They love him. So that's always to me when I look at that kind of stuff. Did the players love him? That makes a lot of difference to me. All right. So the Colts, Steelers, and Patriots are all playing really good football for the most part right now and on track to make the playoffs. Which one of those doesn't make the playoffs, or do they all make the playoffs?
Give me the
Colts,
teams one more time.
Colts, Patriots, Steelers.
They all make the playoff this year. All three of them. And the Patriots might backdoor themselves into a division championship. The Colts are going to win that division. I don't know about the Steelers. I mean, I would love to say that the Ravens are going to rattle off the 11 wins that I've been talking about, but I don't know. But yeah, I have them all making the playoffs.
Interesting. You have more faith in the Patriots than I do. I think the Bills are going to turn it on at some point, but I do think they're a pretty good football team, and they have a real good shot at the wild card if they don't win that division. The wild card's going to be really interesting this year. I feel like there's going to be a lot of teams in the mix for that AFC wild card.
Well, just
All
think
right,
about just think about who the Patriots are going to play. I mean, the Jets, no contest. The Dolphins, they're about to bag it in. I mean, who do they play this week? They play. We just talked about this.
Titans.
Titans. So they're going to be at 7 wins before you blink an eye. So yeah, I have faith because of their schedule, and Drake May is the real deal.
And the Steelers have had a similar schedule too. Both those teams we knew early on were going to have really, really cake kind of schedules. So I'm curious how it looks in the back half of the season. All right,
Right.
the Orioles had 0 Gold Glove finalists this year. That just they just came out with the AL and NL Rawlings. Is it Rawlings? Is that right? Gold Glove
Yeah.
finalists.
Yep.
So the O's missed out on any. Then the finalists are the top 3 for their position. Who is most likely to be a finalist in 2026 if the Orioles get one?
Gunnar Henderson. He should have been a finalist this year, or he could have been a finalist this year. I think his defense improved dramatically for them. You know who? I do have like a honorable mention here. What about um, what about Jackson Holiday improving? Because I wonder if his dad's like, great, the bat's going to improve. Here's your glove. Let's go. And he focuses on that, or they do decide to switch positions with somebody. But that would be my under the radar pick. But I would say Gunnar Henderson or somebody that's not on the team yet.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. Jackson Holiday is a good one. That was kind of in the back of my mind. And I would say, maybe Dylan Beavers and give it an idea, just kind of known for his if he plays a corner. I don't think he'll win it in center field, but if he plays a corner and he plays really well, maybe he has a chance to win it out there, just as a dark horse candidate. All right. This one, recent news, Kurt Signetti, Indiana University, just gave him a massive extension. 8 years, $93 million. And the man's done a fantastic job, right? They made the playoffs last year. They're 6-0 this year. And, with a program that really isn't known for their football, right? They're known for their basketball. And my question for you is, does he coach or stay for the duration of that 8-year, $93 million contract? As I think about the landscape of college football, or do you see a bigger program, a Penn State per se, seeing how good he is and being able to buy that out and kind of snatch him up?
I think that's why Indiana did this because they were worried that that was going to be the case. I'm going to say yes, he rides it out, but not because he's crazy successful, but because you always see this every once in a while with some Big Ten teams, whether it's Illinois or one that'll come out of nowhere and play well that nobody really expected for a couple years. Maybe not to the level of an Indiana, which they're in what? They're the top 5 right now. What are they
Yeah,
ranked? Oh wow. So I think he
3, I
eventually,
think.
yeah, I mean, because they're not going to buy out his contract. So if he starts, but I think he declines and he ends up living out that contract there.
Yeah, they're ranked number 3. They have Michigan State coming up on Saturday at 3:30.
Yeah, it should
All
be
right,
necking.
last question for you on the rundown here, Jason. Besides Lamar Jackson, who is the one player who must play lights out down the stretch if the Ravens have any chance to get back into this thing?
Oh boy. Lights out, huh? I would say I'm thinking of 2 guys. but I was thinking Kyle Hamilton needs to play at the All Pro level. Um, but I'm not sure if that's even enough. Maybe Ronnie Stanley. I mean, to me, those would be the you got to anchor this thing down at some point. But those would be the two I'd be looking at. I'm curious. What
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that one?
You took the two that I probably would have said. Maybe I would have added somebody on the edge, like a Mike Green, particularly, or somebody who could anybody who could get Ajabo, anyone who can get a pass rush. I mean, it could be some guy in the car next to me as we're driving down the road. If he looks like he could play defensive end, maybe we get him in here. But somebody who can get a pass rush. That would be my third thought on that. But all right, man. So that's the rundown. Just going over the landscape of a little bit of sports right now, and a lot going on. It's been kind of sad here in Baltimore with what's going on with the Ravens and the Orioles, but some people are having a good time. So thought we'd chime in on all the whole world of sports.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate that new game. Now I have a game for you. It's an oldie but a goodie. It is our ballpark figures. And I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go right back to the O's like we did last week. Last week we did the pitching wins all time, top 10 for the O's. So I want you to tell me who's in the top 10 all time for the Orioles with postseason hits.
Oof. Okay. And this is from like all the way back in the
You
day.
know every single one of these guys. They're
Okay.
all, yeah, from
Come on.
1966 on.
All right. All-time postseason hits for the Orioles. Let's go Brooks Robinson.
He is number one.
Yeah. I had a feeling he was pretty good. Frank Robinson.
He is number 6.
Oh, good. So far, so good. Cal Ripken Jr.
Number 2.
Okay.
This is what I found interesting. So Cal Ripken Jr. played in 28 postseason games, had 37 hits. Brooks Robinson played in 39 games, 11 more, and had 44 hits.
Huh.
So a 5-hit difference. The Cal apparently killed it in the hit department.
That boy Calvin. He played in he missed a lot of postseason opportunities there for a while.
Right. He didn't play in that many.
How about Eddie Murray?
Eddie Murray is number 5.
That's okay. All right. So now we got to start thinking a little more here because those were some obvious ones. Let me see. How about Boog Powell?
Boog Powell is number 3.
Awesome.
Look at you, no strikes.
Good to hear. Good to hear so far. So what do I have? What do I got? What do I need?
You got number 1, number 2, and number 3. You got number 5. You got number 6. That's it. So you need number 10, number 9, number 8, number 7, number 4.
All right. Man, I thought I had 5 of them. Let's see. Let's go with roll the dice. How about Al Bunbury?
Al Bunbury is number 10. Well done.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Wait, hold on. I lied. Hold on, I lied. I think I lied. No, Al Bunbury is not on this list.
He jumped off.
No, he did. He left. He was here, but he left.
And
I
he
can't
left.
even find him on this damn list.
Oh, great. Oh, man. I was feeling good for a second.
Strike one, Mike. Strike one.
He's not even there. He left completely. Oh, how about, oh, gosh. What am I missing? How about Rafael Palmeiro?
Ooh. Nice try. He's number 13.
Oh, he's so far away. Oh. There's so many older Orioles that I want to guess.
Number 10 on this list, Son played for the Orioles as well. He was an outfielder.
Gary Matthews?
I don't think he played for the Orioles.
He didn't play for the Orioles. I'm trying to think of father-son duos.
This is a 90s situation.
90s.
My expertise, actually. 90s Orioles.
Yeah, I bet you. I bet so. Um, let's see. How many of those are '90s guys?
Well, the guy number 10 is not a '90s guy. His son was a '90s guy.
Okay,
Um, there's only one '90s guy beside you. Already got Cal. So there's only one '90s guy in here.
man.
He's an outfielder. He plays baseball.
Is it Brady?
It is Brady. He's number 7. Well done.
Okay, all right.
But
So
just to kind of give
that's
you an
up.
idea, you have, let's see, one outfielder. You have two outfielders on here left, and two infielders.
And most of these are probably from the earlier playoff runs. Then,
Correct.
so that was when I was trying. Yeah, I'm thinking in my head like I knew the '90s Orioles, but I just can't. Like didn't see the other guys play, so I didn't know how many games they've played. I know they won. They probably played in more games, obviously, because they won more. But I just didn't know the exact ratio. All right. Who else is how about oh man. That why am I drawing a blank on the guy's name? Announcer for the Yankees. Gosh.
Just to save you a strike, he's number
Sing-
11.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Kenny
Number
Singleton.
11.
That's what I was yeah,
Yep.
gosh. He's number 11. Is it like Disco Dan Ford or something like that?
No.
Man.
So the two outfielders, one was back in,
Paul Blair?
yeah, he's number 4.
Okay.
Paul Blair's number 4. And one of the infielders was a former manager.
Look at we just got someone posting on our message board. I don't think it has anything to do with what we're talking about now, but he's saying let's go Flacco. So I think he's a big Bengals fan tonight.
Fantastic.
All right, former manager. So let's see, former managers for the Orioles. Frank Robinson, we already got. Johnny Oates was a catcher. Who am I missing? Philly. You would have been all over this one, Jason. This would have been
Oh, I
right up
know.
your alley.
Former manager
Oh,
of the Orioles. Played for the
yeah.
Orioles.
He played for the Orioles. Give me a position. Is he outfielder?
Who's the second baseman?
Oh, Davy Johnson.
You got it. Well done. So let's see. You got Paul Blair. You got Davy Johnson. You're missing an infielder with a pretty cool nickname. And you're missing the outfielder whose son played for the Orioles in the '90s.
Is it Louis Aparicio?
No. But the guy whose son played, there's a story of, I believe it was his bat broke, so he grabbed Boog Powell's bat, and it was like crap ton of ounces heavier, and he hit a home run, and he never gave the bat back.
I think you got me stumped, buddy.
Rhymes with Buford.
Don Buford.
Don Buford, well done. How did you get it?
Damon Buford was his son. I do remember that.
Right. See, look at
Okay.
you. Okay, last guy. I believe he was a shortstop / third baseman. Ridiculous with the glove. Has a cool nickname. If I tell you, you'll probably get it.
What's the nickname?
That played in the '70s. Nickname is the Blade.
Mark Belanger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done, Mike. So just to recap here. Brooks Robinson, Cal Ripken Jr., Boog Powell, Paul Blair, Eddie Murray, Frank Robinson, Brady Anderson, Davey Johnson, Mark Belanger, and Don Buford. That is your top 10 all-time postseason hit leaders for the Baltimore.
Wow. That was cool. I like that because I know all the names from the past, but I didn't know how impactful they were in the postseason. I just know we won those games, and I know the names, but to tie them together with how many hits they had is pretty cool. How many of those guys do you think you might have missed? Do you think you would have got them all?
Well, maybe not. Like Don Buford, I might have missed. Thinking about it. Paul Blair, I think I would have got maybe. Belanger would have been a little tough. It shouldn't, though, because he played in so many games in the '70s.
Yeah.
But I would have got the majority of them. I think Davy Johnson, I would have probably got.
Yeah, I was thinking too, like Alomar popped on my radar, but he played so
He
many different
was,
places.
yeah. I mean, Almar was there. He was. Uh, Almar was 12, right behind Kenny Singleton.
Okay, interesting. All right,
And that's just
awesome.
2 years of playoffs. 17 hits in 2 years of playoffs for the Orioles. Crazy. All right. So yeah, that just I guess that takes us right into our Orioles talk that we wanted to do. Sounds like we had talked about Albert Pujols. Name was mentioned as far as being interested in the Orioles, or the Orioles being interested in him to be the next manager. The Orioles did have an interview that they announced. They may have had more than one, but they've only announced one so far, and that was Luis Rojas from the third base coach for the Yankees, but he's also the former manager of the Mets, and he coached the Mets, or he's a manager of the Mets after Beltran got the job. He was on Beltran's staff, and then at the last minute they decided to fire Beltran because of the scandal in Houston, the garbage can nonsense, and he he had them in the 2020 or the pardon me the 2020 season, which was the COVID year. Then 2021, they were in first place the entire season until the very end, and the Braves caught them, and the Braves won the World Series. So I don't know if that's an underwhelming name for you, Mike. To me, it's an intriguing name because of um, the fact that he's already done it before, and then he took a step back to join someone else's staff. And to me, that could be the key to it. I think he was on someone else's staff in between before the Yankees too. So to me, it's something that intrigues me a little bit. I don't know if it's who I really want. I don't know who I want. I haven't quite decided.
Yeah, I mean, just in reading this, it says he's the son of Felipe Alou, which
Yeah,
is
he's
really interesting.
half half brother to Moises Alou. Apparently, the Alou fella had had quite the ladies in his life. He had a lot of children with other. He's like the Cromartie of Major League Baseball.
Oh
You
boy,
know, like
Alou, hello.
big
um,
fan.
Now, that's a pretty good stock though, as far as managers are concerned. I I like the fact that he's managed in New York. I think is a plus because there's no tougher place to manage than in New York, either with the Yankees and the Mets. Because not only is it just so everything is so public, everything is so scrutinized, everything is so questioned. He won't have any issue here in Baltimore, with that piece of it because Baltimore fans can be critical, but nowhere to the level I think that they have seen in New York. So that's one positive I would say that he has going for him. And then obviously I briefly talked about the Dominican connection and how the Orioles have that new facility in the Dominican, and if they're going to try to start a little bit more of a pipeline here, what better way to do that than to find a manager of Dominican descent that can connect with some of those players in Latin America and maybe give them some more reason to sign with Baltimore. To me, those are the two major positives. I just, again, for me, and we said this before, it's just I want to find somebody with a lot of winning history that has a lot of experience in the postseason, et cetera. And he doesn't fit that mold for me. And neither does Albert Pujols for that matter, even though he's had a lot of playing experience in those games. I would maybe give the edge to him in that department. But again, not having the managerial experience, except with the Dominican in the World Series that they won.
I mean, the more I think about this, and we had talked about like veteran managers like Ron Washington, or the guy you wanted, oh gosh, what's his
Bruce
name? Bruce
Bochy, yeah.
Bochy. Um, I kind of backed off of it a little bit, only because do we want to do this in 2 years? Like, or maybe next year? Like, do we want to go through finding another manager after these guys decide that they've had enough of baseball because they're in their 70s? Or do we want to find like an up and coming guy that's already done it? That's where Soho, or what's his, yeah, Soho comes into play here, because, or Rojas, pardon me. I was thinking Luis Soho. I don't know why, but
He
I
was a
think about him
Yankee.
a lot.
Yeah. That's weird. That's
I
really
know,
weird, but
Soho
that's
didn't go.
okay.
Oh my God. No,
They all have different names, Jason. They're not all the same.
I, but yeah, I'm kind of like the Ryan Flaherty thing. Everyone wants to point to is like, oh, he played here. There's no connection between Ryan Flaherty and the Baltimore Orioles anymore. The ownership is different. The general managers are different. President of baseball operations is different. There's no one here when he played here. I don't think he loved living in Baltimore. A lot of people don't. But as far as like San Diego, I mean, they're that's probably the best job in baseball right now would be that's available would be San Diego, and then the Orioles and the Braves to me are a good 1 and 1A, whatever way you want to go. I'm not going to argue with you, but it's so I don't know. I do think this is going to get. It needs to happen sooner rather than later because as this drags on longer, there's a lot of teams that need guys. So if there is somebody that you're identifying, then go get it. Or what are you doing? Like, are you just going through the interview process with everyone, or is there someone that you really want to have? And I really wish, Mike, that there was somebody that they're gunning for, and they just go and get them.
Do you have any names that you think that are still, involved in the postseason currently that might be
Mm.
candidates?
Yeah, Ricky Weeks. I think Ricky Weeks is he's on the bench for Milwaukee. You've played out there. I think he is a one that not many people have talked about. Like he's very intriguing to me because he's been a coach. So hasn't been that manager yet, but he has been a coach. That's one I'm thinking of. Who else is out there? I don't know anyone on the Blue Jays. Um, but maybe it's just Ricky Weeks. There's got to be
Yes.
somebody else I'm missing.
Yeah, I
Um,
think obviously it's a little bit like the NFL when the top coordinators get a look from these teams, But I think baseball is such a different animal in that way, where it's like a lot of times you can pinpoint a position specific coordinator, and that part of the football team played well, right? Like the defense played amazing, so the defensive coordinator is working his magic. The baseball doesn't necessarily work that way. I mean, it could be a pitching coach that does a fantastic job or a hitting coach or something like that. But to manage the whole team and what Mike Elias is looking for might have to, need a broader view of what that looks like than that narrow view.
what if it's a sitting manager? What if it's Pat Murphy? And they want to pay him. It's not an Oriole move. The Orioles aren't going to go out and shell out a whole lot of money to get somebody to come out. But I don't think the Brewers are paying him very much money. The Brewers don't like to pay people either. So what if it's another situation like they took Craig Counsell and they put him in Chicago and just made him the highest paid manager? What if it's something like that? Because if you remember when Connor came on from Locked On Orioles, he said to us that he has a feeling it could be a sitting manager that they may try to go off of and grab.
Well, a lot of managers like to sit on the
Oh my God.
the water cooler. Even when I managed varsity baseball for a long time, I used to sit right on that water cooler. But you got to stand too once in a while, so especially when you get older, you get crickety. And if you don't stand up, and sometimes you got to give signals like to the catcher, so you can't just sit down the whole time. But some people like to use their bat and just kind of hold their bat in a certain way to give signals. So there are ways to do it while you're a sitting manager. What about Dave Roberts? He has been under scrutiny in LA. If let's say they don't get it done again this year, he gets canned. Is he a potential managerial candidate?
And I hope not because I'm wondering. I feel like he's a puppet. So yeah, I mean, Elias might love that. So, or maybe he won't. I don't really know what's going on, but I can tell you that, like, I've heard that they call all the, this may not be true, but that a lot of the shots are called from inside the front office down to Dave Roberts. But you got to be doing something right, right? I mean, the players haven't really spoke out about like in negative ways. So I don't know. I don't think that's the guy, but I could be wrong.
And they have enough veteran players that you think someone would speak up if it was that egregious. You got Freddie Freeman in that clubhouse. You've got Mookie Betts in that clubhouse. You got guys who've been around the block once or twice. So I think if something was terribly wrong, you'd be hearing about it.
Absolutely. No, I would agree with that. I mean, so I don't know. I think the list is definitely growing. The one guy that's off, the Kai Correa from Cleveland, he is actually just joined the front office of somebody. Um, and then George Lombard, he was one of the ones that everyone keeps talking about. Um, I'm not. So the Bob Melvin thing for me is kind of dissipated. I haven't heard a lot about that. I'm really I'm more concerned. Last time we talked about him, we said he was a two-time manager of the year. He's won that three times, but it makes me nervous because he hasn't done it recently, and he kind of dropped off. So I don't know if I'm really sold on that one. I think I would, if given the choice there, I'd take somebody a little younger to fill those shoes.
Yeah, if you're
But
going to
I don't
go
know.
after a veteran guy who's done it before, then go get one of those 73-year-old guys. I think I know that you're talking about turnover, but I'd rather have the sure thing. Though I mean, Bob Melvin has Oriole ties. He was a catcher here, but like I don't know that. I mean, he clearly has no ties to the front office. Um, but I'd be okay with that move. It wouldn't knock my socks off.
Oh, you better put them on nice and tight, Mike. You never know with these guys.
Well, that's I have no clue what the Orioles are going to do right now.
I,
There's
I don't either. I don't even have a prediction. I really
no
don't.
clue.
I do have a feeling it's going to be someone I've heard of before. But like when they hired Brandon Hyde, I had to look it up who the hell this guy was.
Right, and it probably
But
wouldn't surprise you too, right? We talked about what the Orioles should do with their roster. I wouldn't be surprised if they did hardly anything. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a bunch of things. I wouldn't be surprised if they did something we're not even thinking about. Like I have no clue what the Orioles are
yeah,
going to do.
I mean, it will be interesting. But I do think I have a feeling. Looking last year and listening to the guys on the Baltimore Banner, they had mentioned that most of the managing managers were wrapped up right before the first week in November last year. So expect things to heat up between now and Halloween, I would assume. And then hopefully we can get this thing going and figure out what they need to do in postseason.
Well, I mean, a lot of people this time of year like bonfires or outside for Halloween, or you get those. Everything's going to heat up because it's just a good time of year for a bomb. Up here in Maryland, it gets a little chilly. Not down there probably as much, unless the Gators are coming to the bonfire and you're putting them on the old spit. Up here in Baltimore, it's crisp right now. My leaves outside on my maple tree just turned bright red, the autumn blaze
Oh,
maple. So I know it's getting cold.
outstanding. No, I mean we have a couple weeks where it's cold, usually in the 50s. I'm not a fan of that. I don't want that anymore. Although I'm in my house wearing a long sleeve shirt, Okay. Did you happen to do? I know you did. Jurgen, did you do a ballpark figures for me?
I did. I just thought like
Oh boy,
reciprocation, tit for tat. I think they say. I don't want to mess that expression
fantastic!
up because I've heard it messed up
Oh,
before.
yeah, it's
Um,
pretty good.
yeah. So my top ballpark figures top 10 list is current NFL. Okay. Top 10 rushing yards leaders right now. Currently, sans the game that's going on right now. I don't know what's going on, but this was as of the beginning of tonight's week 7 games. I need the top 10 rushers in the NFL.
Rico Dowdle.
Go Dowdle. I will dabble in Dowdle. Let me see if I can find him. He is number 5 with 472 yards.
He's played two games.
Yeah. Well,
That's
technically he's played
fantastic.
6, but he started 2.
Oh, it doesn't count. Oh, that's fantastic. Hold on one second. Need to get. Can I pull up my? Do you care if I pull up my fantasy list? It doesn't have numbers on it. It's just like a list of running backs.
Let's see if you can do it
So
without
I can
anything
know who
for a
they are.
minute, and then
Okay. I don't want to forget like somebody else top of my head. Hold on. Let's see. Who am I forgetting? Right off the bat, I can't think of anybody. J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins is number 7. He has 442 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You got
Okay.
5 and 7.
And seven. Who's leading the league in rushing? Why can't I think of it? I'm
They're on a
missing
pretty
name.
good team.
Oh, so am I, Mike. So am I. Um, Cook in Buffalo.
James Cook is second in rushing with 537 yards.
Mm-hmm. Uh, what about Ramondre Stevenson?
Ramondre. What's a long name? Uh, where are you, Ramondre? Uh-oh. I'm scrolling, Jay.
Oh no, it was
I'm
kind of out
scrolling.
on the limb there.
I scrolled down to number 48.
Oh God. Okay, forget that.
157 yards rushing. Strike one.
Javante Williams with Dallas.
The old Jay Williams with Dallas is number 4, 476 yards.
Uh, Teams here. Oh, Jonathan Taylor.
Good job. You got number 1. Jonathan Taylor, 603 yards rushing, leads the NFL currently after week 6.
I got him in the second or third round of every fantasy league I was in. It's
Bounce
crazy.
back year for JT there.
You know what I can say because he had two pretty decent. What about Henry?
Is there a guy named?
Derek
Oh, his last name's
Derek
Henry.
Henry.
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's number 8. He's a top 10 rusher this year. He has 439 yards.
I'd love to say McCaffrey, but he's received. I don't think he's up there rushing at all. He's catching the crap out of the ball though. Jameer Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs for the Detroit Lions is number 12. He's tied
Oh,
with another running back for 12. He has 390 yards, so he's just off the list. So unfortunately,
oh my goodness.
strike 2. I remember one day I didn't keep track of strikes right, so I'm trying to get better at it. I think I gave you guys like 6 strikes. I was like, oh man, strike 3 again. Now here we go. I'm sorry, you broke up a little there, Jace.
Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams is number 10. He is on the list. Well done. He is not 418 yards, makes him a top 10 rusher.
Well, this one I'm going to take a limb because he's missed 2 games. Bucky Irvin.
Bucky. That's a fun name. Bucky is not on the list. He is
Oh,
29, 237. So unfortunately, that's strike 3. But let's see if we can get through these together, okay?
okay.
Let's think. We got, let's see how many. We got AFC, 2 AFC, and 1 NFC left. So you did pretty good. You only have 3 left. 2 AFC, 1 NFC.
Okay. Sorry, I'm talking to myself.
Oh,
Oh, what's his name? Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is number 17. He has 359 yards rushing.
Oh,
You
you're
got
kidding me.
you got a rookie. You got I think it's a second-year player. And maybe 2 second-year player. No, it might be a second and a third-year player. One guy had a really good year, had a bad year, and he's bounced back again this year. One guy just ran all over the Bills.
Robinson. Oh God, that is terrible.
Bijan Robinson is number 3 with 484 rushing yards.
So an AFC and an NFC, or no, 2 AFC
Oh,
guys,
you need
right?
2 AFCs. Yep. One in the AFC South and one in the AFC West.
Oh, no. Pollard?
No.
Oh,
Pollard
good.
is 16. He has 362 yards.
Um, who else is on that team?
This guy surprises me because he is in a kind of committee backfield, but he's really been the lead back this year in the AFC South.
I don't think it's anyone on the Texans. Oh, Etienne, Travis Etienne, or
Yeah,
not
Travis
Travis?
Etienne.
Yeah, Travis Etienne. One of the
Etienne had
ETNs.
470 yards
Nice.
rushing, and he had a tough year last year, but had a pretty good year previous to that. And you're missing the rookie from the AFC West. Highly
Genti.
touted. Yeah,
Genti.
that's him. Ashton Genty, number 9, 424 rushing yards, but he also has 105 attempts, which is a lot of attempts. Anyway, So that is the
Outstanding.
top 10. Taylor, Cook, Robinson, Williams, Dowdle, Etienne, Dobbins, Henry, Genty, and Kyron Williams. The first Williams was Javante.
Outstanding. Well, I think we are just about out of time here. I do want to let you guys know, and I'll know the exact date coming up, but next week, next Monday, I am recording a show with Connor Newcomb on the Locked On Orioles. I'll be his special guest to discuss Orioles. It's part of my prize for winning his fantasy league. He asked me if I wanted like a bobblehead or come on the show. I was like, I'd like to come on the show. So he has to deal with me for, I don't know, five
You're our
minutes,
special
40
guest every
minutes.
week, Jason.
I know. I know. All right, Mike. Well, that's everything I got tonight. Unless you have anything else, we can wrap this up.
No, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. That's going to do it for this episode of Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports. Please don't forget to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, or wherever you get your free podcasts. Give us a review, 5 stars. Tell us how much you love us, how much you like my haircut or Jason's goatee. It really helps us out. We're spreading the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, all those fun things. So find us at Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports, or those other things John made up as our handles. So just come on and just find us. You'll find us. Just look for us. We'll be there. But until next time, keep rocking those Dad Bods, eating those crab cakes. Never miss the game, and hold the faith, Ravens fans. Hold the faith, Orioles fans.
Adios.